It was past midnight. The hotel corridor lay hushed, lit by pools of muted light. Every step sounded too loud. Jungkook's fist hit the door of room 407 again, harder this time, as if violence could break through something darker than wood. His knuckles throbbed, breath shallow, heart hammering with a panic he couldn't explain. A single violent crash answered him from inside. Glass shattered, a stifled groan followed, and then a silence so complete it felt alive. Jungkook pressed his ear to the cold surface, trying to pass the small sounds, the uneven breath, the faint scrape of something falling. For a second he considered walking away. Maybe he didn't belong there. But the memory of Jimin's tired smile earlier that night, how the light died behind his eyes as soon as the cameras left, wouldn't let him. He knocked again, his voice breaking when he called, "Young, please, open up." This time his hand softened, but the urgency remained. "Please, don't shut me out." A slit of light slid under the door. Jimin's shadow moved behind it. His breathing was ragged, hands trembling. When the lock clicked and the door creaked open, Jimin stood disheveled, eyes swollen from crying. Behind him, the room was overturned, lamps broken, glass glinting on the carpet, sheets twisted like a fight's aftermath. The scene was a confession without words. Jungkook's mouth went dry. He'd seen Jimin exhausted, always holding the group together for the public, but he'd never seen him broken like this. For a moment they simply stared. Two men facing the wreckage of what one of them had become. "You shouldn't be here," Jimin whispered, voice hollow. "Go back, forget you saw anything." "Because you didn't answer my messages," Jungkook said, voice shaking but steady. "Because something felt wrong. I had to know." Jimin stepped forward and blocked him with his body, hands on the doorframe as if keeping Jungkook in would reveal more than the room's chaos, would reveal the chaos inside him. "You don't understand what it would mean if anyone knew," he said. "We have everything to lose." "Maybe losing everything is the point," Jungkook snapped, then softened. "Maybe losing everything is better than losing you." They argued in fragments, words that were threats and promises all at once. Jimin laughed once, bitter and broken. "You don't know what I carry. You don't know the price of a smile when my insides are tearing apart." "Then show me," Jungkook said. "Let me carry it with you." Jimin flinched. "You think love fixes this? Love doesn't pay the bills, the headlines, or the lives that depend on us. I'd rather burn with you than watch you drown alone," Jungkook said, voice low. His throat tightened. "If it's you, I'd take whatever comes." A phone buzzed on the nightstand. Manager Hyang's name, lighting the screen. Both of them froze. Jimin's fingers twitched toward it. Jungkook caught his wrist. "Don't answer," Jungkook hissed. Jimin's eyes widened with fear. If he didn't pick up the call, someone would know something was wrong. If he picked up, the manager would arrive, suspicion in his gaze. They held each other in that awful, breathless second. The corridor beyond the door felt dangerously close. Footsteps approached. Someone knocked on another door. The possibility of exposure made the air thin. "Let them see," Jungkook said suddenly, fierce. "Let the world hear what you feel. I won't hide you." Jimin pulled away with a panic that made him clench at his hair. "You don't understand. If anyone finds out, if the wrong people put pieces together, you could ruin everything. Families, careers, people who trust us. And if you break," Jungkook asked quietly, "what then? What is the point of everything if you don't survive it?" The knock on their door sharpened. 3 deliberate raps that sounded like accusation. Manager Hyang's voice, muffled, called, "Jimin, are you awake? Open up!" The room collapsed into a pressure that neither of them could breathe in. When the manager finally opened the door, his eyes swept the wreckage and then froze on them. His demeanor was all calm authority, but his stare was a steel blade. "What's happening here?" he asked. Jungkook didn't step back. He stepped forward instead, putting himself between Jimin and the rest of the world, as if his body could shield the other man. "He's not okay," Jungkook said. "He's breaking." The manager's face tightened. "You're crossing a line," he warned. "This has to stop. There are consequences." "You can punish me," Jungkook shot back. "You can fire me, but if he collapses because no one stood in front of him, no punishment will make up for that." Jimin sank onto the bed, elbows on knees, and for the first time that night, his voice broke through the chaos. "I can't keep feeling like this, and smiling for them. I can't be what everyone expects." He looked up at Jungkook, raw and terrified. "The only thing that keeps me alive is the one thing I can't admit." Everything in the room shifted. The manager softened, just a flicker, because he understood the danger even as he held the code they'd built their lives on. "Tell me what you want," Jungkook demanded. "If you want me to leave, say it and I'll go. If you want me to stay, tell me. Don't let me stand outside your door anymore." Jimin's face crumpled. He was terrified of the cost of his own truth. He knew what the world would call them. He knew the headlines. He knew the hurt that would ripple outward. "If I choose you," he whispered, "I lose everything." "Then lose it," Jungkook said fiercely. "Lose it all but keep me. I'll catch you." The manager stepped between them then, no longer an accuser, but a man with responsibility, heavy on his shoulders. "This can't go on in public," he said quietly. "You need help and we'll find a way. Professionals, time off. But it has to be done carefully." "It's already out," Jungkook said. "Tonight already proved that. The truth is here." Jimin screamed then, an animal sound that tore through the room. It was less about defiance and more about the unbearable pressure of a lifetime of pretending. He pushed Jungkook away and slid down the wall, sobbing. "I can't be the one to ruin you. I can't be the reason everything falls apart." Jungkook fell to his knees, hands hovering, helpless inches away. "I don't care about the world," he said softly. "I care about you. I would rather be ruined than watch you vanish into a smile." For a long charged silence, the three of them listened to the city beyond the walls. The distant hum of life that didn't know their names. The manager finally sat on the edge of the bed, his rigid authority softened by a real, human worry. "We'll keep this in the room for now," he said. "We'll get help without blowing it up. But you must promise to tell us what you need." Jimin's shoulders shook. He looked at Jungkook, fear and longing, and something like hope in his eyes. "I don't know how," he whispered. "Then I'll learn with you," Jungkook said, still on his knees, voice full of a steady, stubborn tenderness. "I'll be here when the lights go out." Jimin closed his eyes. The confession, that soft shattering, "I can't live without you," hung between them. Outside, footsteps faded down the corridor. Inside, for the first time in a long time, the room felt less empty, not safe, not solved, but a place where two people had finally stopped pretending to be okay alone. They sat there in the wreckage, fragile and honest, while the rest of the world waited at the door.